Hello, I'm thrilled to announce that I've been selected as the GUE NextGen Scholar for the upcoming year. I'm Jialing Cai, an underwater photographer and marine biologist from Chongqing, China, specialized in the small drifting creatures in the open ocean at night, aka Blackwater photographer. I have received the grand title of Ocean Photographer of the Year and now have support from Blackwater Ocean Commitment Program, so people like to assume that I must be an expert diver. But the truth is, I'm a very, very spoiled diver. I'm not trying to play humble here. Any dive guy who has worked with me would confirm that. I've done more than 500 dives, but mostly I would say 99% of the time in the warm, shallow tropics. My dive base at Nilao Photo Academy in the Philippines has been a cradle of my career. Ever since I first went there at the age of 19, I've been so well looked after. They still treat me like a teenager nowadays. They handle everything for me. They assemble my gear, carry my bulky camera, and remind every single equipment piece that I forgot to bring. So I really don't have to use my brain or my strength that much in my comfort zone. But after spending 8 years there, it's getting harder and harder for me to make new discoveries and craft new stories. So I think it's probably about time to metamorphose into the next stage of my personal evolution. I want to and I have to venture into the colder and deeper waters. But why am I so obsessed with those tiny drifters? Because they're the living links to the abyss. Every night, trillions and trillions of plankton rise from the deep sea for hundreds of meters to the shallow waters and return back there before the sun comes out again. This rhythmic vertical movement that has been repeated every night across the entire ocean feels like a secret yet clear message left by the nature. If you're curious and brave enough to look, the deep sea would come to you. Many people think that the open ocean is a much more demanding environment compared to coastal ecosystems because out there are no landmarks, no sense of depth, and that disorientation can sometimes be dangerous. But for me, that's precisely what makes it magical because I can observe my subjects of interest from every single angle as much as I want without having to worry about kicking the sediments off and destroying the living habitat. In this sense, the open ocean is much more generous and revealing than people think. After all, a lot of marine creatures that we know about, whether they end up on sandy bottoms, coral reefs, or intertidal mudflats, most of them begin life as drifting larvae. Take this pinna worm as example from the phylum Sepuncula. They live hidden in the intertidal mudflats. To find one, you really have to dig hard into the muddy, wet environments. But when they were little, when they were larvae, they're just like this drifting, iridescent bubbles with their intestines coiled inside. And crabs? Most crabs don't just pop out from their eggs looking like crabs we know. They start their life from these spiky alien looking thing called zoea. The spines on their carapace, which is their head, can be disproportionately long, sometimes longer than their entire body length. And then they will morph into something called megalopa. The spine are reduced and the claws start to form, but they have a very weird tail still trailing behind, making them look more like a lobster rather than a crab. In short, the open ocean at night is basically a giant kindergarten. Being a Blackwater photographer is to find missing pieces of early development of the marine animals that we think we know a lot about. It reminds me that life is not a static form, but a continuous dramatic journey. So, what other baby marine creatures are drifting in the deep 100 meters down? And what tiny drifters are hidden below the icebergs in Antarctica? I want to find out. It was with this vision for my diving journey that I came across GUE, Global Underwater Explorers, a community of divers passionate about exploration, conservation, and education. They're known for their rigorous training standards and their support for ambitious research and exploration projects worldwide. And GUE offers exactly what I'm looking for: the skills, the mindset, and the network needed to explore more challenging waters. As a NextGen scholar, please let me brag about it because I've been waiting for this for so long. As a NextGen scholar, I have a whole year of free training and equipment support and chances to get involved in different kinds of projects to elevate my technical capacity. This is a powerful catalyst that I need to expand my territory of exploration and to turn my deep sea plankton discovery project from dream to reality. I call my photography project homoplankton. If you're familiar with some of the jargons in marine biology, you'll know zooplankton are planktonic animals and phytoplankton planktonic algae. After spending so many nights among them, I also have become a kind of human drifter, Homo sapiens plus plankton. With GUE, I'm now ready to start Homoplankton Chapter 2, venturing colder, deeper, and closer to the unknown. And spoiler alert, GUE is sending me to Antarctica this upcoming January. So tag along to see if this spoiled diver can actually transform into a hardcore polar explorer and come back alive.